Rebellions are built on hope.
And welcome to another episode of Radio Rebellion, a Star Wars podcast. I'm your host, Alberto Calderon, and thank you for joining us on another Star Wars Saturday as we're creeping into the end of the year on a halfway point on Skeleton Crew. But we are here just us today. As we mentioned last week, this is our co-host Oti's wedding day. He's actually getting married right now back in Puerto Rico. I think he's married already. He's drinking, having fun over there. Spoke to him a little bit earlier this morning, so very happy for him and for his wife and his family over there. So congratulations again to our co-host Oti1 Kenobi. He'll be Senor Oti next time he'll be here, hopefully early next year. Well, how are you guys doing? It's Saturday. It's Star Wars Day for us and forever. So let's go ahead and talk about this great franchise that we know and we love. And happy holidays, Merry Christmas, early Happy New Year to everyone. Just in case you won't be able to catch us for the rest of the year. But yeah, next in 4 days will be Christmas. So happy Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to everyone out there. And if this is your first time joining us, also happy holidays and thanks for being here. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the new episodes when they drop. I mentioned last week after Skeleton Crew ends and we finish our reviews, we'll take a little break, a couple of weeks. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out when we come back. Like this video, hit that thumbs up button while you're watching, and comment down below if you're listening to this later in the replay. Let us know any questions or comments you have about anything Skeleton Crew or Star Wars related. We'll come back and answer those. And if you're listening to the audio podcast, as always, thank you so much for always going back to where we started with the audio podcast. You can find on any of your podcatchers out there, and there was a 5-star rating, a nice review, or a bad one. We'll read those too. Yeah, we like all that. But yeah, if we're here to talk Star Wars, not really any news. I know some days we kind of jump straight into any little bit of news topic we might have, but I don't think there's anything this week. I've been saying for a couple of weeks, I've been reading Reign of the Empire, Path of Fear. I just forgot. Just loving it. I'll be done in the next couple of days, and then I'll have a non-spoiler review first. Hopefully before the end of the year, I'll have a non-spoiler review on our website, and then when the book comes out, February 25th, I think, we'll do our full spoiler review, but that's still way there, way past the barrier. All right, so I think it's time. Let's go ahead. I know everyone's out there. Christmas rush, getting those last minute Christmas gifts. So let's go ahead and get this started just in case you need to go out and finish your shopping. So if you guys are ready, I'm not ready. Let's talk Star Wars and Star Wars on TV.
I am not your failure, Obi-Wan.
Star Wars on TV.
Oh yeah, I just love that little intro. Gotta give it that 80s vibe, the 90s. Mostly 80s vibes there for Skeleton Crew. Skelly Crew, episode 4. Can't say I remember no At Attin. I gotta fix something. Let me edit this real quick because I forgot to do it. But here we go. Skeleton Crew, episode 4. Halfway through. Let me say hi to our friend Brennan. He's out there from A Page Turners. They were not. Hello there. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. Same to you. Brendan and everyone else watching out there listening to this. Skeleton Crew continues to be surprising and unexpected and wonderful fun. Brennan, every time you come in and you drop off a little comment right at the beginning, it's exactly what we're feeling about this series, this new Star Wars series so far. It's that fun part. That's what I wanted, and that's what I've been feeling for the whole first half of this series. Even although this 4th episode might not be my favorite, that doesn't say it was a good one. Very good episode. I think it's something that we've needed. I've said before, and I've gone back and forth. I used to be of the mindset, just give me small seasons, small series, like 6 to 8 episodes. One season, that's enough. Just give me a a full-on story. I don't need to go and do all these other side missions or anything that doesn't relate to the main plot. But the past couple of years, I kind of done a 180. I think I'm okay with the shorter run times. It's something I'm already used to for Star Wars, but I think we should be moving to longer seasons, like 10 episodes, 12 episodes. I don't want to go to 22, 24. I think that's too much. But give me a 10 to 12 episode series or season. It works. That's what Andor does. It worked great for season 1. We're getting it again for season 2. Skeleton Crew, sorry, the Bad Batch used to be about 14 to 15 episodes. I think last season was the shorter one. I think it was still 10 or 12 episodes. It gives you enough time to tell a full story and then do some of the episodes that some people, I don't want to call filler, because there's a lot of stuff here that moves the plot forward, but it gives time to do character-based episodes or episode of the week. It gives you time. So when an episode like this one drops, that for some people felt a little bit, where are we going? This really isn't moving this story about getting back to At Attin. All the pirate stuff that was set out the first 3 episodes doesn't feel out of place. But I think it still worked, even though it's a shorter series or shorter season. I think the episode still worked. There's a lot of stuff that does move the plot forward, especially the last 10 to 15 minutes. But there's also some character decisions and character choices and situations that they find themselves in that's very important for the characters themselves. So halfway through the season, getting an episode like this to focus on the characters does work, on the kids. And as always, we'll talk about them as we go along. I was going to say something, I just forgot. I said I'll leave it for later. Oh, I love that each episode so far, even though we've have time with all the main kids, with the 4 kids, each episode has basically focused on one of them and gives us a little bit more info and background into each of the 4 characters. So the first episode, it was full on Kh'ymm. This is get to know Kh'ymm, the adventure side of him, just wanted to be out there. Not a lot of people compare him to Luke Skywalker, just wanted to go away from the boring planet and explore the larger galaxy. Then the second episode was very focused on Fern and how she was in charge and she wasn't going to let anyone kind of try to run her over. She quickly, claims is episode 1, but she established herself as the leader of the group. Then Captain Firm, and when they're on Port Boyle, she's the one saying, "Now I have the blaster, give me my friends, but we're leaving." So it was very Fern heavy. Episode 3 then was KB. We got a little bit more with KB and her interactions with Judd. And then this episode is very heavy on Neil. Even though a lot of characters have a lot of cool moments, it was very focused on Neil and how he felt about the situation around him. So I love that every episode so far has focused on each of the 4 kids. So I love that, even though it wasn't my favorite episode of the season, probably my least favorite, I love that we're getting that setup through all 4 episodes. We'll see them with episode 5, maybe it's more Judd centered or more SM33. Or if we go back to the full group, we'll see. Our friend Alan is here. How you doing, Alan? Thanks for joining us. And Merry Christmas, Alan. Just a early Christmas for everyone. Yes, let's get back to 12 episode series. Give the characters time to develop. 100%. I mean, I said it here, and I said my sorries when we were talking about the Bad Batch. A show that I didn't really, it wasn't on my, not radar, because I knew it was there and I watched every single episode. I was very lukewarm on it. By the middle of season 3, I'm like, this might be one of my favorite animated Star Wars shows, because it gave us time to get to know those characters. Omega first season, like, I don't, this character, or they put me on the spot with that tweet that I had put out, like, Omega, I don't see all the big fuzzies. From one of my favorite characters at the end of the Bad Batch. So give us time to develop the characters, develop the story. 12 episodes, I think, works. You can still keep those 30 to 40-minute episodes, but give us more of them. And now I need my first break. All right, so let's go now to At Attin. Can't say I remember no At Attin. I will start with not At Attin, which when they go, oh, they're so happy. Yeah, we reach At Attin. Not really. I love the visuals as they're coming into the system And we have what I thought was a space station, then two space stations, 3, 4, 5, and then we have all these, which I thought was space stations. I guess they're beacons after the beacons for the barrier. So these are see some of the gaseous nebula outside, but not as prominent as on At Attin. And it looks like those beacons are not working. They all shut down. They land. Figure out pretty quickly that they're not on At Attin. Jod is basically reminds me of my home planet. Tastes like as she does. My mind started, the gears started moving, trying to figure out what planet that might be. I don't know. We'll see if that comes back at some point to see where Jod comes from, or or Captain Jack, or Silvo, whoever he is. So yeah, I love we get this new planet. And real quick, no, this isn't At Attin, it's At Achrann, which is what SM33, which is he's having some trouble. He says, "Oh yeah, At Achrann is messing with my what are his servers or something." Oh wait, At Achrann, what is this? So a new planet. This is the coordinates that Kh'ymm had for all the information that the kids gave her the episode prior. So it seems to be one of the jewels of the Old Republic. This planet at war, very different that At Attin. I will get into that in a minute after this. I have my big theory for the week. We'll be there in a couple of 5 minutes. But yeah, At Achrann, a planet at war between the Troik and the Hattan. The Troik and the Hattan, as all of us that love Star Wars and love the High Republic, reminds me of Aerono and Ariam. And I just messed up the name. These two planets have been at war for who knows how long, and they don't even remember really why they're at war. Yeah, they still are EOPs, which is fun to see the EOP back. So we're gonna steal their grain. So they're just. We'll get to that. I love the two kids that are just parkouring all around the wreckage. What flag do you fly? We don't flag any flag. We're just kids. Heina is a new great character. Gets introduced, gets a lot of time to spend with Neil, and I'll talk when we go more into it, talking about the kids and what happened to them during the episode, what this means for him going forward, not about the means of him having a French girlfriend. Right? Was a very French Revolution episode. It's something that feels Star Wars. Star Wars is about war, it's about revolting and rebels. So this episode might be the one that feels more like Star Wars. But as it went away from the pirate themes that we have been getting the first 3 episodes, maybe it felt as the less Skeleton Crew type of episode, but it still was very Star Wars. Alan is adding, totally not ominous. Each of the planets have a majority population of young people. That's right. That is right. And I love, when I talk about William, we will get to it, but just say when William sees the kids for the first time and what came to his mind, it's like, this is why he's a great character also, and it feels right in this type of show, this ambling Goonies type show. But yeah, so these kids are part of this rebellion or this revolution against the Hattan. We have General Strikes, which is Heina's father. He's in charge of Detroit. We treat the kids like adults. You're in the front line. You're gonna get our EOPs. You're gonna be the ones leading the charge, leading us into battle. So yeah, it's not just very kid. Majority of the population are kids, but the kids are treated as adults. I don't know if this is when you want to treat kids as adults, throwing them in the middle of a conflict with blasters and big freaking guns when they blow the statue there. But it's what I was going for is 2 people that are at war. But when Neil asked him, why are you fighting? That Heina really didn't have an answer. Well, they still stole our EOPs. So we're gonna go now and destroy their grains or something. So like, is this really why we are at war? But that we have this giant cannon that she says is from the old days. Maybe that's what they used to destroy the barrier space station, those beacons up there. Maybe those cannons were used to destroy that, and that's why they're not working anymore. I think it was very deliberate that it was shown because it wasn't part of the episode afterwards. Just, hey, let me show you this big canon that I have. I think they'll play out a little bit more when they visit some other planets. I do believe since they don't have the coordinates to At Attin, they will visit other planets to see what they can find. And then those type of canons will come up at some point. And that's my belief. Or maybe as they're leaving the planet, they don't want them to leave. So, because you can't leave the barrier. It's not what you can. But at the same time, I don't say again, it's a kids show, but it's been a very fun series. So to see all these war scenarios and kids having to eat just daily rations when they go out to the top of what used to be the school, and on the roof of the school now there's tent city up there, just daily rations. Some kids haven't eaten, or looks like they haven't eaten all day. So Neil goes, being a great character, to give them his rations. I don't think he wanted to eat that anyway. Just reminded him of the food at Port Borgo. But all right. So, and then at Achrann, what else we learned? Apart that it's basically a reconstruction of At Attin. Instead of having the supervisor tower, they have this fallen sanctum. And it has these coordinates and maps. And that's, of course, when we end the episode on, they finally make it to the top of the sanctum, or this fallen sanctum. The story kind of unravels from there. So from here, I'm just going to jump out to the Jewels of the Old Republic. And my big theory for this week, I'll probably have a big theory every week, is we've been talking, a lot of people have been talking, what if At Attin is this type of Truman Show planet? Is it like the Wizard of Oz, that's all smokes and mirrors? They're being kept isolated for what's really happening, which that part is obvious. But see now that each planet, at least at Achrann, is a duplicate basically of At Attin. Then we have at A2, at Arisa, and at Aravin. KB says, oh, they were co-founded at the same time with At Attin. I don't know, planets were co-founded. But my big thing is, what if all these jewels of the Old Republic are experiment planets? Like At Attin is this peaceful planet with droids kind of keeping control of everything, almost keeping it sterile. No one can leave, no one can come in. It's just what we say here, what the supervisor says, and everything goes through the droids. And then at Achrann is the complete opposite. It's this planet at war. Kids are treated as adults, but also lead the war effort. What if all these planets, each one of them was built the same, but with a different quote-unquote background? Again, At Attin is the peaceful planet, at Achrann is the war planet, and then at A2 is something else, at Arisa is a different thing, and at Aravin is something else. I think from the trailers, we know that they'll reach another place when they're jumping on the bed. They have all these fancy wardrobe, they say, and fancy clothes. They say, that's when Odd says, hey, we need to leave, the pirates coming behind us. And they're, oh, but we haven't searched the buffet. Oh, there's no time to search the buffet. And I think that's going to be a different planet, this rich planet. I think that's where they're going to find, from the trailers, this cavern that's filled with gold, and there's this creature comes out. I think that's another planet. And then there'll be another planet will be the same. Or maybe after that third planet, they'll finally reach At Attin. But I think each one is a different experiment planet. That's my big thing. It's not just that At Attin is a Truman Show planet. I think each planet, each its own Truman Show, Wizard of Oz planet. That's my feeling right now. I'd love to hear what you guys think out there. If you're listening or watching to the show right now, just put in the chat real quick what your thoughts are about these jewels of the Old Republic. They haven't been destroyed. We just saw one. What's really going on out there? Dale, what's going on out there, Dale? Thanks for joining us, Dale. You made it. Always happy when you make it. I'll say the same thing. Merry Christmas, Dale. Happy holidays. Thank you for being here. Oh, and again, at Achrann, they say we don't know anything about off-worlders. They didn't know anything about At Attin. The only thing that throws my theory a little bit out the windows when they say the only dealings we have with off-worlders is when we trade our hides for weapons. That's the only thing. So that means that people are coming and going. But again, their barrier is destroyed, so that kind of allows people to come and go. They don't have any ships, I'm guessing. That's why they haven't left. People come in again, maybe it's on same people. I just watched Doctor Who. I said I'm sorry for the Star Wars folks. I've been watching Doctor Who again, and I saw Boom the other day, which is these two people that war supposedly. And it's just one group fighting smoke, or there's no one out there. Just being sold this lie that there's someone else hiding in the mud that they're fighting. Kind of reminds me that maybe there really isn't a war or a reason for this war. It's just been put there to see how people, how they act around it. So again, all these are experiment planets. That's my big thing out there. All right, let me take another sip of my water. Let's talk about the kids now. The kids and Hannah. I talked a little bit already about Hannah, but she has a lot to do with Neil, and that's we'll get into. But again, with Kh'ymm, like I said before, he's this bright-eyed kid that everything wonders him. Everything is new. Everything is an adventure. He was so bummed that he had to go back home after everything finally started. It was the beginning of the adventure, just when things were getting interesting. And when he sees the kids that stop and, hey, what flag do you fly? His first instinct was, oh, are you a bunch of kids that are rebelling against the adults with a big smile on his face? Like, no, we're in the middle of an actual war. But I love that that was his reaction. When they're training with the blasters, after they go and meet the general, he finds Neil. Neil. He goes and grabs the biggest gun possible to just shoot and just fly back. So to him, this is just a game. It's basically same as when he was shooting the X-Wings. It's almost like he's acting like a kid inside a video game, like he doesn't see the consequences around it. But again, you need those type of characters in these type of shows and these type of movies and series. I love that innocence in him, that he still feels as a kid as he's going, which is a complete 180 from how Fern is dealing with stuff, especially at the end of this episode, which was my favorite. Someone that's always finds something to joke about when he's out. It doesn't take things too seriously. It's our friend Cam Ray, who's here. Cam Ray, semi-production. What's up, Ray? Cam, thanks for joining us. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, Cam, for joining us. Thanks for being here. Cam, you just made it finish. Went over my big theory about At Attin and all the planets out there. If you have a theory about anything, just let us know. We'll discuss it. KB seems a bit off to me in this episode. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying that in a bad way. Last week, my big theory for last week was that KB is actually force sensitive, and the things that she has around her head, apart from the visor, are controlling or kind of suppressing her force ability. The farther she's away from home and from her maybe medication, it doesn't work as well, and she's starting to, I'm not say feel the force as to force to do that, pun intended. But when they look at this statue that's missing its head, Captain No Head or whatever Wing called him, and a blast will comes in and hits it, everyone runs away, and she just stares there, kind of looking at it, kind of tilts her head to the side, not reacting too much, trying to analyze what's going on, which is not the way kids would react. And then later on in the episode when they're doing that target shooting, the practice shooting with the blaster, and she hits all 5 targets at once, and Wynn goes and gives her a high five. She stays there kind of like she's never experienced a high five before, kind of looks at it, smiles a little bit late. So I think they're showing us that something is off with her. I think with next episode, maybe the following one, it will keep popping up to put an emphasis on what her mother said in the episode before, that she has this medical condition. Be it that her force sensitivity is going back or something else. I think we're gonna keep seeing that as the season goes on, and it's gonna be a push to get them back home. So again, not a lot of KB in this episode, as it was more Neil and Fern centered. But that caught my eye that something's going on with KB that I think is gonna come back later in the series. Neo, again, Neo is the sweetest boy around, the sweetest elephant around. His interaction with Hina were so wholesome and so perfect for that character. I understand why Neo Nation loves him. I really like him. He's not my favorite of the kids, but I love that he's always have this innocence about him. He's always been very honest about everything. Every time someone asks him a question, he gives the answer half a second afterward. He doesn't think about it. How can I lie my way through this? He'll just blurt out what he's really thinking. So I love when everyone's so excited to practice with the guns, to go into this battle, to be treated as adult. He's the one like, we're kids. What are we doing here? I just want to go home. My little brother beat me. I was chasing him. He fell on my trunk, and I sprained my trunk, and I don't want to be here. And this feels just like home. Maybe we shouldn't be fighting. Maybe I would just apologize. And Hana's like, oh, you're from a weak clan. But then that comes, of course, at the end, like your weakness, it makes you kind, and my world needs some kindness. That's something that we can all relate to. We all want that for ourselves and our family, our friends around us, and the people in the community around us. So for him to have just met this character in Heina that, as far as we know, has been part of this war for the past, I don't know, 14, 15 years, to just spend an afternoon with Neil, seeing him acting that way, but still having that bravery to be out there leading the charge when needed. And she said, oh, I'm going to go there with my friend. My friend needs help. I'll be there with him. It was great to see that. And of course, at the end, we'll talk a little bit more about it. At the end, he has his Samwise moment, which I mentioned at the beginning. He's going to be my Samwise. At some point, he's going to get the bravery to save people. He does that here in his own way. So I love, especially him and Heina walking into battle together was a great visual and a great scene to get. So let's talk about Captain Fern, right? Fern, man, I love her. I love that character so much. Even from episode 1, she's been my favorite character. It continued here. That Captain Fern was very emphasized to the whole episode when Jod walks into the cockpit. Hey, Fern, is that? And she's like, Captain Fern, and adults are not allowed in the cockpit. Get out of here. When they're captured and taken to General Strix, oh, this is Fern. And she stands up. Actually, Captain Fern. And then, oh, Captain Fern is going to lead us into battle. It's putting this pressure on, first on herself by always calling her Captain Fern, and then others seeing this and putting this pressure on her. And this, not anticipation, but she's trying to be older than she really is, right? She's just a kid, but she's always the confident one. She's exuding this bravery out there. First 2 episodes, she was the one there with a blaster. But as farther we go into the show and the more they get into trouble, and she can't get away from it, when it comes to that scene first when Jod rescued, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But I love that we're starting to see her fears, her emotions, and mostly her vulnerability. She realizes that she's still a kid in this larger world. Last week it was, wait, there's 1,000 worlds? No, there's a lot more. There's 10 of millions of worlds out there. Oh, we still got 10,000 worlds to check, or possibilities to check, even though we've already discarded 99.9. It's like we're never, so all this is starting to become real for her, that she's just a kid out there. So I love that we're seeing this come out. Like, yeah, this might be too much for me to handle. It's easy to forget that she's just a kid with everything that, the way she's been portraying herself the first 2 episodes. Like last week we started to see it, and now this one she just broke down by the end of the episode. And then Wim, gotta give it to him, where he goes, oh, Captain Fern, you're a leader. You'll save us, you'll get us. And she's like, Captain, you should have been the captain. I don't know what I'm doing. We're starting. Oh, you always get us out of trouble. You'll figure a way to go out. Saying that she's amazing, even though she took it the wrong. Oh, just saying that I'm amazing doesn't mean I'm just gonna fix it. But I love that Wim realized that his friend that he just met 2 days ago or 3 days ago needs help, needs someone to kind of pump her up a little bit. I love that it came from him, because he's been kind of the aloof character, kind of just being, yeah, I'm so happy to be out here. I love that he was the one to say, okay, let me take a second and console her and tell her she's doing a great job. We're still alive. That's the thing. When she said, oh, we're lost or look how we are, there's no way of us getting home. And you've kept us alive for this long. So I love everyone there. But all right, so talking about Judd at SM33. Come on, baby. Get back on the ship, baby. Don't make me count. Oh man, SM33 quickly becoming one of the best Star Wars droids out there. Babysitting mode. You gotta love it. You gotta love the interaction between those two characters. When SM33 starts having memory issues and he mentions at Achrann and starts smoking, then Jot, okay, let's see if we can regain your memory. Let's go out and maybe you'll see something that reminds you of At Attin. But just that little scene of, come on, baby, it's back on the ship, baby. It was the no notes. It was a perfect scene. Then we kind of lose Jot, of course. He gets taken, or looks like he's going to be taken by the Hatan. He said, just shoot me, who cares? He comes back to the rescue. He had stolen the dataries, the Old Republic credits. When he came back, he rescued them, right? This pirate, this scoundrel that only cares about gold and treasure. He could have just easily left. He came back, gave away, and probably not all of it, just some of the credits, but brings back, oh, name your price. Them, I need them. He say, I'm here for them, or he didn't, oh, now you guys work for me, I saved them. I need them. Like, come on with me. And they're so happy to see him. And this one, see Fern, she goes crying, tears in her eyes, like, you came back. She was this close to giving him a hug, which is at the beginning of the episode. She's like, go back to the back of the ship. We don't want you in the no adults in the cockpit. And now she's ready to just hug him, like, thank you for coming and helping us and saving us. So I love that little interaction and what it meant for the character of Fern as this episode kind of went through. They make it to the Fallen Sanctum. Finally, we're able to go to the top of the supervisory tower, or their version of the supervisory tower here at Achrann. Here's where we kind of start learning about all the other planets of this, what we guess are the Jewels of the Old Republic. At A2, at Arisa, and at Aravan. I don't think we'll visit all three. I think we'll probably at least go to one more planet, probably next week. They do have the coordinates for them. Before we go to that, let's see Cam's prediction. So our friend Cam Ray, it's saying, and that's not it. I went too quick. Oh, okay. So prediction: Wynn's dad has force abilities and he's been hiding them. Near the end, his dad's gonna step it up and help rescue them, bringing them closer together, and revealing that Wynn's dad has been the hero he was looking for the whole time. I mean, it's not that far-fetched. I still wanna keep that KB is my force sensitive of the whole group, but I do think that something's going to happen. So my dog is drinking water and making all this noise outside. I do think Wim's dad is going to step up at some point, and Wim is going to see him as this hero, like you said, Ken, that he needs. He needs someone out there to not just, he's just busy with work. He can't read me a story like my mom used to. He doesn't care about me. Just he gives me money for the whole week. He's the only one, not the only one, but the parents in that scene last week, he was the one basically. We have to do something. We can't rely on the droids. We can't rely on the supervisor. We need to do something. Does that mean he's force sensitive? We'll see. At the end of the day, this is Star Wars. And for a lot of people, including myself, Star Wars is about the force. So we'll see. We'll see, Cam. So Fallen Sanctum, like I mentioned, I don't think they'll go back to all the planets, but I think they'll go to some. I'm happy that they're finding, and this is where I say that the episode still moved that plot forward. It wasn't just the side quest with some character beats and character moments. It did move that main plot of trying to find At Attin, and it did in a great way because it gave them hope, and they took it away at the same time and gave them back a little bit. So the coordinates for At Attin are destroyed. We find out it was SM33. I'll say when I saw the episode was named, I can't remember, I can't say I remember, no, At Attin. He said it like twice more during the episode before we came to this part. I was pretty sad that, okay, at some point, probably 2 or 3 episodes from now, someone's going to say At Attin, and SM33 is going to go, oh yeah, I remember At Attin. So I thought it was going to happen. Didn't have any clue it was going to happen like it did in this episode. So a very cool reveal. And this is that scene between Fern and Wim when Wim is trying to console her. You're a captain, you're amazing, you can help us. This is where she kind of breaks down. Like, I'm not a droid. I can't just save us. You can't just say that I'm amazing. I'm just going to come up with a solution. I'm not a droid. I can't do what, I'm not just going to do something because you tell me to. And then she remembers what happened in the first episode, which is a great callback. And that's why sometimes having not shorter season, but you don't have to wait, when did that happen? Do they have to do a quick flashback to show me what happened? No, you remember quickly. Oh yeah, in episode 1 when she did this with the nanny droid and told her to kind of clear her memory and remember. Just, I was upstairs studying all the time. So I love that she tried that with SM33, memory override. Tell me everything you know at Attin. Yeah, I know At Attin. And my captain said to kill anyone that asks about At Attin. So I'm gonna rip them apart, or pull them apart. Very tense scene, very scary for the kids out there. Seeing SM33, which had been the savior for them since the first episode, or from episode 2, to now be this villain that's gonna rip them apart. But here again, this is where Neil has his hero moment, throwing that stone into his head, and then um, Jaw just jumping out and hitting the power off. Um, so it was great to see that from Neil to get that scene there. So this is where, and of course, Neil gets a little kiss on the cheek from Reina before, and I love it. Oh, now he's gonna say he has his French girlfriend from another planet. But this is just giving him more confidence to then go back to speak with Runa, right? That's his love. That's the person has his crush on, I should say. So this is all about Neo gaining confidence. He doesn't have the confidence to talk to Runa. That's what he says in the first episode. Here in this episode, whole episode is speaking with Runa. He's sitting closer to her. He's going into battle. He's stepping up to defend everyone when SM33 goes kind of haywire. So this is just about him getting her confidence back. Him getting his confidence back, or not back, for the first time. All right. I'm just gonna throw them in the. My kids are just walking in the background, just crawling through the floor, trying for me not to see them, but they're around. They're not. All right. So yeah, that was the episode. It kind of ends with SM33 shut down. Neil passed out. They're still on the Falling Sanctum at Achrann. So next week, most likely they'll grab the coordinates to one of those planets and go. I want to see what happens with SM33. Will they leave him behind? I doubt it. KB, they'll say she can rewire him just a couple million circuits or whatever. So they'll probably take him back to the ship and try to fix him. I don't know if they'll be able to get the coordinates out from him, maybe by the end of the next episode. But I think they'll go to one of the other planets. Let's at Arisa. I'm gonna say they're going to At Arisia, and that's gonna be this rich, what I call a rich planet with all the resources. Maybe there's no one there. I think this is then when Jody say, hey, there's a crew of murdering pirates after all. They're probably gonna get a transmission and know that the pirates are coming. And we're gonna again see the same setup that they had on At Achrann. They'll have on this new planet, and more question will come out of what really is going on in this Jewels of the Old Republic. I think all that is gonna come into head next week, which is episode 5, and then maybe by episode 6 they'll make it back to At Attin. I don't know. Hopefully we'll get more with the parents. I will get some more into the redemption. I know from the trailers there's this scene between Wyn's dad and Fern's dad. I'm sorry, I forgot the older names again. when he's telling her, our kids are taken, we need to do something. Maybe we'll get that next weekend. We find out more about who the supervisor is or isn't. Whew, all right, so let's go to what you guys say out there. I put a little comment on Blue Sky just for people to let me know any questions or anything you guys are thinking. So let's go into it on Rebel. Let me try this again. Now we go to one of our favorite parts of the show when we listen to you guys on Rebel Thoughts.
Well done. You're a rebel now.
You're a rebel now. All right. And our comment comes from David at Rebel Alliance 77 at Blue Sky Social. He asks, why were there hidden planets? Did the Republic even know what was the purpose? And how come Palpatine didn't know? Or did he? Dun dun dun. All right. So we already talked plenty about all the planets. So we'll go a little bit into it, David. Again, thanks, David, for sending us your comment. And if we're spending most of our time social media wise on Blue Sky. I still show up or pop up on Twitter every day. I don't post it a lot, but either one, just send us your comments and we'll highlight them here on the show and we'll discuss them. So why were there hidden planets? I don't know. That's what we're trying to find out. I don't know if what Kh'ymm told them it's 100% true. I do believe there's Jewels of the Old Republic. Why did she say that those planets were destroyed and only one of them survived? Apart, like I said before, maybe everything is at Attin and every other place is just like a bubble city, a Truman Show city in the planet, and they think is each area is a separate planet, just one, and all the other ones are destroyed. I do believe that there are going to be different planets. Why are they hidden? I don't know. I had my theory the first time that At Attin was this hidden planet because there was a Jedi temple hidden. I still believe that's going to be the big treasure in At Attin. It's going to be an actual hidden Jedi temple, and that treasure is going to be there. Probably a holocron. That's my big thing. We'll see. Did the Republic know? If I stay with my original thought that this was all done by the Republic and the Jedi during when Order 66 was going down and maybe to keep something hidden, then yeah, the Republic knows. But if it is an old Republic planet and it's been hidden since those times, then no, the Republic wouldn't know, the current Republic. So I don't know. What was the purpose? Again, I'm going now to that everything an experimental planet. There's something going on that they're being set up. When you do an experiment and you're trying to prove a theory, everything needs to be the same, right? That's what it's a scientific solution. I forgot the name. So everything is the same, and then you change one variable. So I think that's the thing that's going on with these planets. Like every planet is set up the same, and there's one variable that changes. Again, At Attin is the perfect planet with everything is peaceful. The droids make sure that nothing is out of line. You can't leave. You can talk about the outside, nothing can come in. At Achrann is the planet at war. That's the one variable. We'll go to the next one. Then that has all the resources, and that's where we'll go next time. I think that's why they were hidden. What purpose? No idea. Did Palpatine know? I'm going to say no. I don't think Palpatine knows. I know a lot of people at the beginning were saying that maybe at the end of this Republic, Jewels of the Old Republic were Empire worlds or Imperial worlds. Yeah, that way it kind of meshed with the Imperial symbol. I don't think that the Empire knows about this or that Palpatine knew about it. We'll see. I don't think so. I'll lean more Republic than the Empire, but I don't know. All right. So, David, thanks again for your question. It was a good one. Talk a little bit more about it. Is the planet run by droids? Cam asks. I think that At Attin is run by droids. I don't think that I think the supervisor is a droid. Or like Otis said last week, maybe it's a Wizard of Oz planet and there's just a big head behind it. It's a computer simulation running everything. Maybe there's someone that doesn't know anything, just pushing buttons. I think the whole planet is run by droids. Like the droids are the teachers, the droids are the security. The roads have those tracks so the cars stay on path. You can't do anything. everything is through the droids. So yeah, I think At Attin is run by droids. All right, so that does it for our talk on Star Wars today and talk on Skeleton Crew episode 4. But we're not done. Let's go real quick to that part of the show. We talk about something else that's not Star Wars in a world between fandoms. Between fandoms, and this will be very easy. What we talking about? The Superman trailer. We'll be quick. James Gunn and DC revealed their first trailer for the new Superman movie. This is the starting off. I know they have Creature Commandos out, but movie-wise, Superman will relaunch this DC shared universe or this DC movie universe. We'll see. We'll say. Starting off real quick, I love Man of Steel with Henry Cavill. Man of Steel is my favorite DC EU superhero movie. Man of Steel is one of my favorite, probably my top 5, top 6 superhero movies of all time. So I'll start with that. Second, I was bummed that Henry Cavill was pushed aside, that he's not going to be Superman anymore. I'm not a Snyder bro. I'm not gonna be there saying, "Give me Henry Cavill or bust." I'm not one of those guys. Even as much as I love Man of Steel, I know this is a business, and they decide to move on. So let's see what they give us, and I'll judge from that. When I saw the trailer the first time, I liked it. I wasn't blown over like most people online were. I'll be honest. I love dogs, and I love seeing crypto. Took me out a little bit. It's like, it feels a little weird that we have this dog here. When I read my Superman comics back in the 90s, I don't remember Crypto being there. Again, I was more a Marvel fan, but I do have my DC comics. So it wasn't so on. I like, yes, finally, Crypto, the super dog is there, but I knew who it was. That trailer seemed very busy to me with all the Hawk Girl and the Green Lantern and the other guy, which I don't know the name. Seemed to me to be a lot. And we have Lex Luthor and this other creature. Visuals look great. David Corenswet, I'm sorry if I mess up. I'm just going to call him David C. He looks like Superman. He looks like Clark Kent. Again, the visuals are great. All that worked perfect for me. It just seemed a little busy. Again, it's a teaser trailer. It's just vibes. Cool scene. We'll get a story trailer later, and we'll figure out what's going on. Watch it a couple more times afterwards. I'm in 100%. I'm in with Crypto now. I think it works. After watching a couple of times, it didn't seem as busy as before. I knew from reading interviews that this is a world that knows about superheroes. They're out there, like Superman and Lois Lane know each other. They're obviously in a relation. So we don't have to go through all that. But I really like this trailer. After a couple of views, I'm very excited for this to come out in July 11th, I think. My birthday is July 16th, so this will probably be the movie I'll go see around that time. Very excited to see what James Gunn brings up. I'm not the biggest James Gunn fan, so I'm holding back a lot of my expectations because of it. I know some people are extreme James Gunn fan. I love when he goes online to debunk rumors. I like his movies. I love the first Guardian of the Galaxy. The other two, I have my issues with them. I wasn't blown away with episode 3 or volume 3 like most people were. I enjoyed it. Only watched it once, not twice. So I'm like, okay, let's see where this goes. So looks great. Holding judgment till I'll see the movie or the next couple of trailers. But very excited for this. It was a cool trailer. Can't wait for the full version to come out, or a full trailer, I should say, as this was a teaser. And then, what do you guys think? You guys saw the trailer? You enjoyed the trailer? You like Guy Gardner of all the Green Lanterns we couldn't gotten? I love Nate Fillion, but I hate that haircut. Is screen accurate or comic accurate? Oh, sometimes it doesn't work. I know most people enjoy it. I don't know this Green Lantern, so again, just give me the story and the movie. I'll see. And then just to finish up, episode 5 of Dune last week, probably my favorite episode of the season so far. Great action, great reveals. Um, I love those characters. I don't know the name. I forgot all about them, but just seeing the Bene Gesserit and their chess game that they're playing inside their coven and outside with every faction, it's very engrossing. And then, of course, with, and I forgot the name of the character, uh, whatever, the Viking guy. I just forgot even his real name. So I love now that he's both comes from both families and what that then means to everyone around. So tomorrow is the finale. We'll see. We'll see. It's already been renewed for season 2. I'm still waiting for my official renewal of Rings of Power season 3. But Doom Prophecy has been renewed for a second season. So we'll see how this series ends next week. What happens to the king and his family and every other. I know there was a very weird review because I didn't have a single name, just a Bene Gesserit and Mother Superiors and all those people. All right, guys. So thank you for joining us today. This is, let me try this again. Put some music out there. All right, here we go. So thank you guys for joining us today. We'll be back next week with our review on episode 5 of Skeleton Crew and with the finale of Dune Prophecy. We'll see if anything else drops between now and then. But thank you to everyone that joined us today. Kh'ymm Ray, Dale Skywalker, Alan Chin, Brennan, anyone else that was out there watching or didn't get a chance to jump on the chat, thank you. As always, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. We'll be back next week. But if we don't see you, Happy New Year. We'll have one more episode before the end of the year. Talking Skeleton Crew. Anything else Star Wars drops between now and then. So stay safe. Be safe. And I don't remember no at Achrann. Where is my outro? Here you go. See ya.